Hello, everybody. This is Jackie Chi, the Indian wedding singer, and today I've got VK from
Enigma London, yeah.
Enigma London. There you go. And basically, we're going to have a chat about weddings, first dances, and how kind of hand in hand do DJs and musicians work, and what does live music kind of bring to a wedding. But before all of that, VK, tell me, how did you end up in the wedding industry? Was this something planned, or was this like kind of just fell into it?
um, so it was again, as always, music was in the family. So um, my dad used to do kirtan. I always had influences with Punjabi music, Bhangra music in the house
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
Um, Again, my dad was at a radio station, Punjabi radio station, and then I was always there. So
Hmm.
I was around other Punjabi sort of presenters.
Hmm.
So I was literally, the music was always there. And then literally, it just went on from a stage where I used to play music in my bedroom, then bought a pair of decks, which I think that was where the big change happened. So that obviously
Hmm.
bought the decks. Back then, I must have been 14, 15. So it was records.
I was gonna say, that big change. It's becoming
Yeah,
from a consumer, you become a creator.
yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
with the decks, you get to create something different instead of
yeah,
just
yeah.
playing a song. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So it was that, and obviously being at that age where I couldn't afford much, but uh, when I got money or when I started working, I used to go and buy records, and then just for example, if I could only buy one record a month, I would just mix that same two records together for a whole
Well,
month
that's how you get good at it, isn't
until
it?
yeah, that's it, man. So this, and then the thing is, back then there wasn't a lot of like recording facilities, so we used to record um, on tape decks.
Hmm.
Uh, we had mini discs that were coming in, so recording on that. I used to record on my voicemails. So when you had yeah, so you used to record
That's
your
been
voicemails.
that's being resourceful, man. That is, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So I had to quickly wait for the tone, press the mix together. So I used to record like that, and then that's it. It just sort of progressed from there. And then I obviously sort of understood what was going on with the music. And at the same time, the technology was improving as well. So we went to CDs. CDs.
Hmm.
It was better because it was uh, a lot more choice you had, and
Yeah,
then you could
yeah,
also rip your own playlists. And on one CD you can have if you're playing 12 songs and you mix another 12 songs, you can always have those two CDs together. You just go, but you know, mix them all together.
this is
So
a
it
true
doesn't.
journey. Yeah, it's a true journey, isn't it? Kind of getting more
Yeah.
selection,
That's
and you're kind of going, "Oh yeah, now I can do more things with this." And then
yeah.
the MP3 CDs came out with like
That just was
144
a
songs.
that was a game changer.
Next,
That was like, whoa, this is too much choice for me. So that was again that changed completely everything. So the MP3s, and then also then obviously too when we jumped on like the computer,
Hmm.
laptops, and that then again changed the scene again completely. And now we're here to the current age where we're using laptops with 100,000 songs on there. So you got
Millions,
ample
yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
yeah, you got ample amount, and then you're connected to the internet. So it's yeah.
Hmm.
So that's how it started off, and
Endless.
that's how it's going. Yeah.
So with like DJing, is it a difference between DJing at a like a gig, a nightclub,
Mhm.
to a wedding? Like what's
Yes.
the
Yeah.
difference?
So clubs are. So we used to do a lot of clubs, obviously when we were young. With the clubs, majority of people are going to come there to dance, to have a good time. With a
Mm-hmm.
wedding, it's very, very specific and it's personal, obviously, to the bride and groom. So
Mm-hmm.
it has to be, the focus has to be them. It's their big day, so we try to put as much effort and importance on the bride and groom. And then obviously they do give us like an itinerary, sort of a detailed itinerary of what they want. what kind of music they want. But a lot of them do sort of trust us because we've been doing it for so long. They'll give us the freedom to say, look, I don't mind. I want about 5 to 6 songs that I definitely want played, but then
Yeah.
you can just judge the crowd, and that gives us a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit
No, yeah.
more.
No,
Yeah, fluid. Yeah,
creative control, like, in it, because
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
I think I get people saying that to me. Or sometimes they list songs, and I'm going like, fine. I said, just give me five, because any more than
same.
that,
Yeah,
you're creating. You might as well do it yourself.
you might as well
um,
playlist.
yeah. So it's like, give me the flavor, and then I'll give you the rest of it. Like, give me
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
taster.
No, so same thing again. We do ask for. I normally say, give me 5 songs, or give me 5 songs for the first half, and then five for the second half. That way, we know how to sort of judge the crowd, and then that way it gives us a bit more freedom again, just to see what's working on the dance floor,
Hmm.
and then we can see the songs, and we'll sort of prejudge what they, what they like from the songs they've given us. But again, judge on the day, so it gives you a bit of
Yeah.
homework.
I was gonna say also, it's, as you said, you're the professional in this. Like,
Yeah,
if I go to you and say, do these songs, and all the weddings I've been to is like 3 or 4 weddings in my life.
yeah,
I'm coming with that experience of 3 or 4 weddings. You've probably done 3 or 4 weddings that weekend, so
yeah,
you have to trust the person that you're asking,
yeah,
that the entertainment from.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. So, you spoke about the bride and groom. What's the biggest mistake people make when booking an entertainer?
I would say uh, the first thing is they need a perfect itinerary, I feel. A lot of bride and grooms sometimes uh, do an itinerary where the flow isn't right. So, and the thing is, the itinerary is side by side with the venue. So you need to organize that itinerary according to the venue, because some venues have multiple spaces where if you're doing a wedding ceremony, then you have to go and have lunch, then you go to canopy area. The flow has to be right, and it has to match the itinerary. Some venues are just a blank canvas, like a massive hall, and everything's in that hall. Then we can sort of dictate what happens within that hall. But again, it's the flow. So what I normally say with the bride and groom is, when you want to come in because that's your grand entrance. Then, if you want, we can cut the cake because the focal point's all there. And then, if you've got starters, if you've got canopies or whatever it is, you can go and sit down. Some people do a lot of stop start, so they'll come in, do the entrance, sit down, and then have starters, get up for cake cutting, sit down, and then get up for the first dance. And it's just the flow has to be it has to be right, because there's so much we can say on the microphone, and if you've got 500 people, not everyone is going to listen. You want everyone to be seated and have that bride and groom as a focal point.
There's like a process, as you said, and also there's certain things, like when you're at a wedding and the DJ's going, everyone take your seat, everyone take your seat, and no one's taking the seat. That's
Yeah,
for a reason. He's not just saying everyone
yeah,
sit down. Like, there's
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
next
yeah,
thing's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
happen, the food's gonna
yeah,
happen. The speech. There's a etiquette to it. There's a
yes,
decorum
yeah, yeah,
to the thing. Unfortunately, Desi Bande, we like to break the rules and keep on drinking.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's,
Yeah, this is the thing.
so,
The thing is, we see this a lot, and our main focus is, look, it is a bride and groom's main day. If and we're already on such a short timeline, because sometimes it's like a 5 hour reception, and we've got so much to get through in that time. We might have speeches, we might have performances, we might have like a video to show on the screen, a slideshow. So there's so much to do within that time. If like the guests are not listening, then it doesn't help the cause. So we have to announce it a few times, and a lot of bride and grooms, they want everyone to sit down. They want everyone to be seated, um, because they want to show the effort they put into like a pre-wedding video, for example.
mhm,
They put the effort
mhm.
into it, time, money. They want everyone to see that, and then obviously when we're telling everyone to be seated, they put effort into like the catering. They want everyone to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
again, the bar isn't going anywhere, so the bar's always there. But you can always eat and then go and mingle. The thing is, a lot of people see each other after a long time, so that does
Mm-hmm.
sort of interrupt things as well. They want to network and meet family. So yeah,
And I think with that, as you said, once you get to know the people and you've done so many weddings, you
yeah,
understand what the group dynamics is going to be,
yeah,
and then you
yeah,
just work with it. Like you can move people around, and I like
yeah,
to have a
yeah,
bit of fun with people.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
cool. All right. So you've done plenty of weddings. What's the most
yeah.
chaotic or unexpected thing that's ever happened at a wedding that you can tell me? There may be things
Let me
which
think. I
you
can't
have NDAs on.
touch wood. It's been it's it's been okay. We always have a plan B and a plan C because you don't know what's going to happen. And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand this, that we only have that 6 hour window to execute a wedding. We don't have, for example, if I'm a builder and my materials haven't arrived on site, I can do it the next day or the day after, so you can have a delay. On the wedding, we have to have plan A, plan B, plan C. So we've always got that in mind. The only thing I can think of is weather, which is which is out of our control. So the only thing I can think of, we were supposed to have a morning ceremony, a mandap ceremony outside. It started raining, and we just had to bring everything inside, literally on the spot. And we did it. We had a plan B there. We had everything ready. But obviously, it's not nice for the couple because they always dreamt about, oh, I want it outdoors, and that was always their first preference. But you
Yeah.
just have to go. You just have to go with it. And I think that's the only thing I can think of. I've heard stories about other functions where we haven't been at, but I can just think of weather, and obviously that's out of your control. So,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, the I mean, I've done a couple of outdoor ones, and it is. I always say, "Are you sure? Are you sure
yeah,
about this?" Because
yeah, yeah,
we're in the
yeah.
UK, man. Like this,
This is
we're
the
not
thing.
guaranteed
Yeah, yeah.
we're not even guaranteed 4 hours of the same weather.
This is the
But
thing.
then
Yeah,
the problem I get is like, yeah, people, it is kind of guaranteed sun, Tika, that's good, and then
yeah,
it's so hot. No one thinks about it. It's too hot.
yeah. We've had this a few times. Destination weddings is fine. We know the
Yeah.
weather's going to be
Mm.
fine. We do loads of destination weddings, but sometimes for the elders that come, I don't. I feel the weather's not great for them because it's so hot and they're sitting in the sun. So you need to think about shade. You need to think about water bottles, towels. You need to think about all this stuff when it's abroad. But I see that coming here as well because in May our weather was crazy. So
Hmm.
it was really hot. So if it goes on like this, you're going to get similar weather in UK like that, and we're going to have a lot of people doing weddings outdoors. Um, Again, just think about the elders
Think about
and the
shade,
nanny.
man. Get yeah,
Shade, that's it. Get your
yeah,
umbrella
shade,
down.
bit of marquee area, like where you can just kind of cool
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It's nice to be outside, but as I said, we're not prepared for it here. Like when
Yeah.
you're abroad,
Aesthetically, it's
yes,
great.
this,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
pictures, videos, they
Mm.
look great. But then you just need to sort of factor in everyone else and, yeah, how practical it is, basically.
And how if it's that hot, are people going to want to dance as well? Like
This is
dabba
where it gets
sokken
a
da
bit,
heat of that, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, this is so a lot of people, they do, but but then you can sort of see, when people have like the guys have the sherwanis on and the ladies have the Indian suits on. You can see I feel uncomfortable just putting it on in a normal day, like because
Yeah.
of the whatever. But then in that weather, I can just feel that it's like double layered and it just becomes so hot. Where then we do have, like, for example, cocktail parties on the day before where
Hmm.
everyone's relaxed and it's yeah. But I think on the wedding day there should be sort of something there where they don't need to wear that, have some shade, again, water bottles, just to keep everyone,
I think
yeah,
I think when planning a wedding, you need to think holistically the whole thing. Like
yeah,
in it,
yeah,
sometimes one thing seems really good, or
yeah,
this idea seems really good, but put with all the rest of the blocks, and now
yeah,
does it make sense? Because you may want to do it in a certain way, but then you got three
yeah,
factors that are going against it. So
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah, definitely.
I think just going to that point, then, do you think wedding planners are a good idea?
So
I was
there we go.
hoping you're going to say yes and agree straight away, but I suppose it's
Okay,
I don't
it
get much of
depends.
a battle. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah, yeah, I don't mind. I think so. Destination weddings, 100%. Just because a majority of the wedding planners we work with, that we worked with over 15 years now, they are all based in those destinations. So they know everything about anything. So they know everything about logistics, catering, airports, connections. So they know everything about that. And that makes life easier because a bride and groom will go back and forth, obviously, to the venue just to see how it is. So they'll go two, three times before the wedding. Over here, it depends if you require it. A lot of caterers do offer that service, but what I see that is just for uh, the wedding reception. It's not for
Mm,
any other
mm,
functions.
mm, mm, mm,
A lot of people do have like a family member that is pretty on it, so they know what's going on. I just feel if you're organized enough, you can probably do without it. But it's just, I think, a peace of mind thing. Um, Everything is then the responsibility of the wedding planner. So she will tell everyone, what time you guys can come in, what logistically, what time. For example, if I'm doing a wedding, um, and they got a mandap ceremony in the morning, and it's in the same hall, I need to work out what time they're going to come out and how long I've got to set up. So it's
mm,
just all these little factors where a wedding planner can make it a little bit easier.
mm,
But again, a lot of time they do tell us things that we already know. So, for example, they'll come running to us and say, "Oh, look, this is the first dance," and I'm like, "I know, I've been speaking to them for 15 months." Yeah, so stuff like that. So stuff like that's fine, but the other stuff is when they just let us know, when the speeches are and stuff. Because obviously we have our own itinerary, but it's good just to work side by side with someone as well.
No, I think that's where I was kind of thought you would object is that you already kind of are a wedding planner as such, your
Yeah,
reception planner. You know that
yeah,
you got an
yeah,
itinerary, you know what's happening, what's going to happen next. But offloading that for the bride and groom, I think, is an important thing because you don't want to be worried about has that guy is he ready now to do a speech
yeah,
or is that ready? Is the where's the cake? Like
yeah,
especially
yeah, yeah, yeah,
brides
yeah.
will probably think
Yeah,
more about like that. I think the
they'll
guys
think
don't really
about,
care.
yeah,
Not be I on it.
yeah, 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 yeah. The brides
But like,
obviously think about all the details. Yeah, yeah,
but no, okay, cool. So regarding like South Asian weddings, and you
yeah,
covered a non-South Asian wedding. What makes a South Asian wedding different? You know, like, obviously we got a lot more programs,
yeah,
but is
yeah,
there
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah,
energy
yeah.
difference?
Yeah, I think the main thing is obviously you have a lot of functions going on. So when we do a lot of the weddings, we'll end up doing the jungle party or the pre-wedding party, just so that we get to know the family. Um, and then I think the main thing is scale. Um,
Can I just stop? You know what? You've
yeah,
done a good point there. Doing like a jug or like Mendy nights, whatever, that creates continuity and
yes,
understanding of the family, which I never really
yeah,
considered that before. You're right, because
yeah,
by then you know the flavor on the wedding day, like
yeah,
what
yeah.
they're about. You know who the relatives are. You can bring them in. You know who the jokers are of the family, like who you can
Exactly,
play off.
exactly. Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
so like
So,
having more than one function adds to that
yeah,
kind of
it does
celebration. Yeah.
help us because it brings it sort of gives us a rapport as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then the main thing is, so we see this a lot in, again, destination weddings because we're flown out and we'll do one, two, three. So three functions, we get to know the family. So even here, we try to do the same. So we'll do your functions. If you've got anything at home, it's fine. We'll do like pre-wedding venues. So with that, we just sort of understand the family. We understand the music they want. and obviously we've seen what works and what doesn't, and then obviously the reception is the finale where we sort of bring whatever we've learnt from those 2 3 days. We'll execute it on the wedding reception. But again, it's just the difference between other weddings we've done and South Asian is it will probably be the scale of it because it's just getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
They're either getting really big where the production side is getting bigger, where we're doing a lot of AV, so audio, visuals, lighting, so we're putting a lot more in. And then you've got the other end of the stick where it's getting very intimate. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are getting just they started doing like stately homes. They'll do like
Mm-hmm.
these smaller venues where they just handpick their um,
Guess.
friends,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
friends,
yeah, yeah.
your cousins. So it becomes a bit more intimate. But that's where a lot. Then it does become a bit harder because there's a lot more detail to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll have, for example, 80 to 100 guests, where we have to where you have 500 guests and the crowd's
Mm-hmm.
much bigger. It might be a little bit more easier to DJ for because
Mm-hmm.
it's a bigger crowd. Whereas
Yeah.
yeah, everything else gets a bit more intimate.
Yeah, when there's like 20 people starting up dancing and someone goes, Nene, put that song on. Like you can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
them saying it like instead of being
yeah,
mixed into the crowd.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So song wise, and what's the one song that never fails at a wedding? Guaranteed banger.
You know what
You
still
know what?
works?
I'm
Yeah,
saying
go on.
banger. I'm saying banger. Yeah, there's songs that work on a dance floor, and there's also songs that like Bollywood songs that people like as well. Like what,
Yeah, yeah. So
just
a lot of
something
it
that's.
now, because I think music has become very global.
Mhm.
Um, so where you used to play Bollywood 10 years ago, it was only like Bollywood fans would like it. Now, because it's become so commercial, like for example, I'll play Kala Chashma, it's a Bhangra song, but now it's in Bollywood. It sort of it brings everyone together. So the Bollywood crowd, the Bhangra crowd. So that's a good thing. Dasja always works. It's been
Mm.
working for 20 years, and it's probably one of the best tracks I think on the dance floor because it's got such an energy to it. Um, and it's become like an anthem for opening up a dance floor. So I feel that works really well.
And for some reason, it's not for some reason it's a good song, but like it's evergreen, isn't it? Like even the
Yeah,
youngsters know that song, and
yeah,
sometimes it
yeah, yeah.
surprises me. Like you're not even part of that. Like that was my generation, Dasja.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for someone
exactly.
younger to go, oh yeah, Dasja. Like how do you even know about this? Like that's
This
how
is the thing.
widely
Because
it's
it
spread.
gets played played all the time. So for example, when I do like some English parties or Christmas parties, if I play Candy, for example, a lot of the generations know that song because it's an
Hmm.
evergreen song. So it's the same thing that's become with Dasja because it's played at every wedding. Um, People that are 15, 16 are gonna be at those weddings and hear that song time and time again. They're gonna be, accustomed to that song now. Whereas
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
weren't born when that song came out, but
I've heard it enough. Yeah,
it's a part of their life. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So I would say
Um,
that, to be honest, yeah.
that's a sick tune. Um, cool. So with actually, this is a bit off my script. Is
Yeah.
what I've noticed is people like to talk about English music, English. Generally they might be listening to English music like
Yeah.
in their phones or listen to different genres. But when it comes to a party, how come it's always Bhangra? Like this might be the goreest mate that I've got, but when it
Yeah.
comes to the wedding, his wedding's all Bhangra, and he's dancing. It's not like he's not
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
involved.
yeah.
So it's
I
like,
The
is
thing
this
is,
just?
we've done a few where they've been quite they've told us, look, we want this type of music. So I think the new stuff tends to work sometimes, but the thing is, I've always told the bride and groom, listen, if it's not going to work, I'm gonna switch it up. And they've always said, yeah, fine. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, it's their taste at the end of the day. And that music might be about them too. So we'll still play it, but again, it's just about knowing that when is the right time to sort of bring your guests into this now, and
That's the
make
key
sure
point. Yeah,
everyone has a good time.
it's
Bangla, the
like
thing is, naturally, it just gives you that. Once you play a Bangla song, the tone and it, tumbi, or whatever it is, it brings such a different energy to
mm-hmm.
a hip hop track, or because you can play hip hop, R&B and stuff. I normally do play that towards the end of the night. But Bhangra is just again, it's just the energy it brings, man.
I was gonna say it's like you could like Chinese food, but all your
Yeah,
guests aren't gonna like Chinese food, so they like dal
100%.
roti, like whatever
Yeah,
Indian
yeah,
food,
yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it probably goes down to majority wins as well. Like, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cater for
yeah,
them.
yeah. But the thing is, a lot of people they do understand that. Bride and grooms do understand that they do want all the guests to enjoy. So that does help us. But the main thing is we try and, for example, I'll mix it into a Bhangra song. So an English song, I might mix it into it just so that it keeps it going. And then you can see the bride and groom's, face turn around and they look at me like, oh yeah, you got that right. So we'll do that and then just bring
Hmm.
it in and just try and incorporate as much songs as we can. But again, Bhangra is Bhangra, man. So I've said it from day one. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think people appreciate how much work goes into prepping for a wedding from a music
Yeah.
point of view, and then
Yeah.
also i- gauging the crowd. That's like the hardest job. The music bit's probably secondary to that. To gauge people as they walk
Yeah.
in and off their faces. People say "Gaane lone," like, but it ain't just that. Like, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
reading the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like the skill that you've picked up over these years of reading a
Yeah.
room of people is it's impressive. Like,
The thing is, it's just it all comes down to experience. That literally, because we've been doing it week in, week out, we've understood and we've sort of, it's like research really. So you just, it's knowledge that you gain over the years. And it does help because you gauge, so you gauge what works, you know what doesn't work. So you might have played a song last week that didn't work, and that's in the back of your mind, and then you won't take that risk again because it didn't work last time. But again, it's just all experience. So we know when to play Bhangra, we know when to play Bollywood, Afrobeats, garage. We know when to play all these genres. We know what to play when people are sitting down, when people are. So for example, if someone's doing a speech, we know we need a song that builds up to this speech. So we ask each individual, like, if you're doing a speech, what song do you want for your introduction? So just to make it a bit more personal, and that song I might play something for the best man, and it might mean something to like four tables, and they will make a
mm-hmm,
lot of noise, and then that's when the
mm-hmm,
energy just starts building up.
mm-hmm,
And then even before the bride and groom enter, we want to build up the energy. So play some again energetic music where everyone's getting a bit more hyped up. Because we don't want to play like a Bollywood song where it's like a love ballad, and then
mm-hmm.
we're just go, ladies and gentlemen, your party we went through. So you want to build it up. So that's the thing. So we know when to play certain genres. Yeah,
No, wicked man. It's hard work. That's what I'm trying to get at.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, 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 yeah.
when it comes to first dances, and what have you seen that is people probably do wrong, or what's a good, what does it something that works out and is good, like.
With first dance, there's a what I've noticed is two types of people. One type is they're very, very shy, so they just want it over and done with. Some people don't
Mm-hmm,
even do a first dance.
mm-hmm,
Um, and then you got the other side where they've actually come to us and they've asked us to make a mix for them. So they might want two or three songs together. So we'll mix that up for them and they'll rehearse and they'll get a dance teacher and they'll rehearse something for it. So you have two ends of the stick basically. So the first set of people, when I say they're shy, they'll probably just dance around and and they always say, look, after 30 seconds, cut it, start the
Mm,
photograph. But then I always say, look, when you're at that point, you might be in the moment, so you and I might cut it too early. I
mm.
always say, look, just give me a little ishara, a little nod that you're done, and then we can, bring the couples up or open up the dance floor. So that works well. Yeah,
I think you're right because adrenaline is different. Like when
100%.
you might be nervous about something, when it's happening and you start
Yes.
enjoying it, and all your family's like smiling and
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
it all changes. Like I
yeah,
could see in people's faces they're nervous before, and then they're chilling when it's happening. So it's
yeah, 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 yeah,
there's as an entertained performer or whoever's working with them, you got to kind of keep on reading them as well and thinking
yeah,
how long when do you should we do the whole thing now?
yeah.
Um, any nightmares have you had as a first dance?
First dance,
Has somebody's
nightmares.
relative come up and start doing? I don't see
We've done a
Varney anymore.
few.
Innit? I was
They,
gonna say
yeah.
they
Thing
used
is,
to be the nightmare.
we announce. The thing is, they keep like a lot of bride and grooms tell us, so we announce it. But the thing is, we can't announce it too many times because then it becomes a thing. So we
Mm-hmm.
obviously our announcements we try to make it subtle, but we'll announce it and then yeah, then but people still do it. The thing is, you'll have a big B that comes up, or when they're about to
Mate,
do
you think the BB are
yeah,
listening to the announcements? They ain't listening to nothing, man.
they're not listening. They're not. But then, but this is a thing. So what should happen is someone close to them, like their daughter or relative, when you see that big B's getting up, you need to just hold her hand or something just to bring her back. And the other thing is kids. I've seen kids a lot. There was one when someone was trying to do they were basically lift the wife up on a certain point, and then I just saw two kids run in, and they were just running around them, and I was just like, and I was getting anxious because I was like, where's their parents? Like, if that was my kid, I would get just run there, just grab him. So it's just a split thing, but for the first dance, I always recommend all kids just sit with their parents. I know some of them go outside and play around in the hallway, but the thing is, it's that 3 to 5 minutes is a very, very big moment for them, for the bride and groom. So yeah,
I think, yeah. I mean, I'm probably a bit torn on this. Yes, it's a big moment, but also
yeah,
these kids and the guests are part of the event. Like I feel
yeah,
like, and if the kids are gonna run, that kid when he's 25 years old, they're gonna say, "Remember, you came to my wedding and you done this, like you ran around,
yeah,
or you done a splits like when we were trying to do the first dance."
yeah.
I think it makes the
No,
thing
no,
because
no, no,
you
100%. And a
because
lot of things happen accidentally, and it's a talking point, it's a conversation for later on. So that always is the case. But then a lot of bride and grooms, they are quite detailed and they want things at a certain way. So that obviously we have to do our level best to make that happen. We always say, look, even with the caterers, sometimes we say, look, just make sure your waiters are around, just in case any kids are coming, because that's how much importance some bride and grooms give. But then there's some weddings where people don't care; they just want to get the first dance. They just want the party to start. So some bride and grooms are coming up. Listen, get the first dance done. We want a party. So you get two sides.
it's I think there was a video. I don't know if you've seen it on social media where this cameraman grabs this kid. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen it?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And then there's like a controversy. Should he have pulled the kid? And I'm like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
let
I
the
think he
kid
could have handled it a bit better.
yeah.
That was, and I don't know why there was a camera facing him. So, so,
Yeah. You think it
so
might be planned? No, I think he's got like a 360 that was filming
oh,
him.
360, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Then I think he could have handled it a little bit better.
yeah.
I tend to see
It was a
stuff like that
good
in India.
grab in it.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
a
yeah.
good
So it's
grab.
quite solid.
Yeah.
When we do a lot of functions in India, I see that stuff because in India the videographers and photographers they run the show there. So everything they have like six of them, and you just see them pushing people out the way. So I can see that happening in India, but here I was like, okay, maybe it's gearing towards that now. So everyone's
Watch out, man.
just knock
Just
up your kids, man. You know what I mean?
So I want to move on to a bit of like live music. So when you have
Yeah,
live musicians or bands or like just live acts,
yeah.
what makes a good like a relationship working with yourself? What makes a good relationship, and what makes to a bad relationship?
So with ourselves,
Yeah, how do you
uh,
like gel together and make a good set?
the main thing I would say is whenever we have an artist, I always want to have a phone call with them first, just so that I get familiar with anything he wants. They usually do send us like a rider with like a spec, like for example, I need a microphone, I
Spec
might
sheet.
need two speakers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that helps a lot. The other thing would be within that conversation, I normally get where we're at, where we're at basically. So I
Mm,
know, okay, what type of artist he is. A lot of artists we've worked with a lot. So if it's a new artist, we sort of want to know, okay, what do you need? What type of vibe are you creating? When are you jumping on? So I need to know itinerary wise because some artists want to jump on in the first half where it sometimes doesn't make sense for them to jump on. So it might be
mm,
like a,
mm,
I don't know, like a Tagra artist where he's for the lads. Yeah. So
mm, mm,
first half
mm,
you normally have it like a family sort of vibe. So then second half you get everyone a bit more chilled out, and then you get that artist on. So knowing where they're best equipped, that works well. And then just
mm.
even when they're there, when they arrive, just come a bit early. We meet each other. We'll go through everything, then it's okay. Then I know a lot. If they just turn up and they just want to jump on, then I know they just want to be in and out, and they've
Yeah,
got another show on. Yeah,
I think you're right. There's a caliber of people and people that want just the DJ mic put them in and like just do
yeah,
the thing and they just want to chill.
yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah,
for myself, I even bring my own equipment, like I just plug in to the DJ because I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
The preparation happened like and it makes it easier for you, and then
This
it
is the
makes it
thing. Yeah,
more organized for me, like because
yeah, yeah,
I've struggled. I think years ago I used to struggle with just the volume levels, EQ, mara edda kar de, odda kar de, like forget
yeah,
all of that. I've done all of that homework now. Now here's the
yeah,
wires
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
let me crack on.
yeah.
Um, okay, so outside of weddings, do you have a secret talent? Or hidden talent? Oh, yeah, hidden talent. Hidden makes it sound better. Secret makes it sound like dirty.
That's what I'm thinking. I was a family show, man. I don't know. I think everyone knows what I do. My main thing is obviously music. So it's always been music. Um, so I've been producing for years. That's gone hand in hand with the DJing. Um, I've worked with loads of singers. It's just my day. Well, not my day. My trade is I'm an actual architect. So
Okay.
that's like complete different spectrum of what I do. Um, but I
I
think everyone
suppose.
knows. Yeah,
And I was going to say also that people kind of, I don't know if they appreciate the professionalism of being an architect, having a
yeah, yeah,
professional job that transfers onto
yeah,
music and DJing. Like, and it's, uh, I think when people say, "Oh, he has another job or another," like he's just part time geezer. No, no, that
yeah, yeah.
there's a level of you're getting something better than somebody.
This is the thing. So a lot of people understand that. With me, with the DJing, it's full time. It's become like because the weddings have gone from wherever they were to like a full operation. So it's full time now, and with the architecture has helped because I design stuff, I design sets, I design even artwork. I design myself. When we print dance floors, when we're printing DJ booths, I'm designing myself. So it's helped me in that way, where I've got full sort of control over the designer aspect. So that's helped me quite a bit. The other way it's helped me is venues. So I know when I go to a venue, I know the sizes, I know how to measure up. So literally, I know what size to put in, so I can do that back of my hand. Where a lot of people will get measuring tapes out, thinking three, four times, and I've seen it with a lot of people when they're doing it. I can go there, I've got laser measurer, and it just press one button. I've got the whole thing done for me. I know what fits in the venue. I know what doesn't fit, so that helps a lot as well. Yeah,
I would say that is a hidden talent because
yeah,
the amount of knowledge behind there, like
yeah.
you wouldn't think somebody would have it. Okay, cool. So just to kind of wrap up, well, last question I would say before we wrap up is if you had if I said you can only play one song, your CDJs, I don't know what they call them, your decks are broken. There's
Yeah,
only one
yeah.
song left in there that you could play for the rest of your life. What song would you play?
God, I don't even know. I-
Something you like. It doesn't.
Something that I vibe to is Addimal by Mulkeet.
Hmm.
Always, always. And it's just, when it comes on, it's number one nostalgia. Whenever it comes on, it feels so current and it feels
Mm-hmm.
old school. So and I don't know why I relate it to Sunshine for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can
Yeah.
play it in the car, I can
Yeah.
play it when I'm DJing, and it's got such a nice build up to it. I think Ravi Bell done that. So and it was done years ago, and it just still
Mm-hmm.
sounds like it's current. So I think that one, it's just such a happy song. I think that will probably be, yeah, one of them.
Kid, man, that's a no. Maybe I want a song after this. I think that's
Yeah,
a. You're right. You're right. It is a summery vibe, like kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
sunshine vibe.
And
Well, wicked,
everyone
man.
knows it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everyone knows it. Yeah,
Well, I was going to say thank you very much for taking time out and having a chat. A lot of insights, and I think couples who watch this will learn a lot. I think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a lot more thought to just picking something or doing something random, and you've opened up to some real good like insights. I think that's so big thank you for that and taking the
No
time out.
problem, no problem. Thank you for having me,
Um,
and hopefully we'll see each other on the road.
yeah, see you soon.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, thank you very much.
Brilliant. I'll speak to you soon, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.